Yeah, I thought I did pretty well. My biggest focus was just trying to get acclimated to the team, understand how to maneuver, throughout defensively, offensively. That's kind of was my main focus, and just getting accustomed to everything in the organization. And as the preseason went on, I got more and more comfortable. And yeah, I feel in a good spot right now.
How has it been playing with the combinations? Because you've been on several. So how have you made that adjustment each time you've been with a new group?
It's definitely different. You can definitely feel the rhythm kind of alter from unit to unit. But just being a star in your role, doing the same things, bringing energy, playing defense, rebounding, shooting when you're open. That stuff remains constant. So just trying to do my part regardless of who I'm out there with.
That shooting when you're open, is that something you're getting more comfortable with?
Yeah. I've been, obviously since I got in the league, that's something I've always been working on. Shot the ball well last year, so I'm just continuing to do that now.
How's that process been, learning to kind of find your spots with a whole new group of teammates on the offensive side?
It's a little tough. It's a little tough just trying to figure out kind of where guys like that, they can all score in isolation, Book, KD, Brad, kind of figuring out where, they want you to space at, having those conversations with them, like, when you're here, where you want me at, when do you want me to cut, the timing, things like that. So as we've been playing together, as we've been practicing, it's been getting easier. It's been getting more, having more flow with it as well.
With those three in particular, you mentioned the communication. How important is that for guys of that caliber to be letting other guys know, like, okay, here's where we can find you for cuts or
Yeah. It's super important because it helps each other. If somebody's trying to ISO and you're just standing in the corner and your guy's able to help, it makes their job a little bit harder. And then if you're not cutting at the right time and they don't know when you're cutting, they don't know your timing, they can't hit you at the right time. So by kind of being on the same page, it allows them to make plays for you, but also give them the space they need to make the plays they need to make.
The dribble pull-ups were a big step forward for you last year. We saw another one last night. For those of us that didn't follow the start of your career, can you talk about how much that part of your game has grown from year one to now?
Yeah, it's grown a ton. That's a good point. I've just continuously got better year to year with my shooting, especially getting to my mid-range, something I work on a lot, something that I'm capable of doing. Taking what the defense is giving me. From my first to second year, had over a 10% jump in my three-point shooting. So just continuing to try to be more consistent with that stuff and just trusting the work.
On the floor when you're playing the defense anyone's?
Yeah, and especially I feel like when we're in the game together, I feel like we kind of feed off each other's energy. I feel like our defense, kind of takes a jump up. So that's just us being stars in our roles.
How much does it help with who you're guarding in terms of improving on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, going against, some of the best scorers in the league, in the world is, definitely a good way to sharpen your skills. So day in, day out, they continue to make me a better player. So let's keep grinding.
How did it feel to go against two teams, the Lakers and the Nuggets, there, playoff contenders? What did it feel for them with this team?
Me coming here, I'm from Portland. It's a different feeling. Being able, to actually compete with these teams and come out with wins like last night. Playing at a high level, it's a different level of focus that you got to have. But it's been good to just kind of get a little matchup, kind of see where we're at heading into the regular season. Preseason is preseason, but I think it's a good litmus test to see where we're at. And I think we're in a good spot.
Where do you think you guys are at?
I think we top of the West, towards the top of the West for sure. I think something that people didn't account for is I think defensively we're better than probably most people assume we would be. I think we're a lot deeper than people probably assume that we are, just looking at it first glance. So I think we got the pieces that we needed to be successful.
I know you've seen it before, but we saw Drew Eubanks with a dunk on one end, blocks on the other. Just what does he bring to the table in terms of that verticality?
Yeah, Drew's my boy. Super athletic, high energy player. He makes the right play defensively, offensively most of the time. So, with him, in the pick and roll situation, I know y'all seen last night he was making the dimes. That was the evolution that I didn't know he had. So, I think him adding that to his game and making the athletic plays, the rim protection is going to be big for us. So, as long as he continues to do that, it makes our jobs easier, and we'll be able to get wins with that for sure.
How fun is that when you have two bigs that you're familiar with, and Yusuf and Drew, that could both make those passes to cutters.
Yeah, it's super fun, and it makes the game easier for everybody. It's quick hitters. Nobody has to. The ball doesn't stick around. You just hit the bigs and make the cut, and you can trust that they'll give it to you. So it causes us to move with purpose, so our offense doesn't look stagnant. And I think it just makes things run more smooth.
He credited the cutting, not his passing.
Hey, man, it takes two to tango. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna give him some love for that.
So how much should having Damian Lillard the past few years help for you coming over here in terms of like spacing and everything?
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit different just because the amount of firepower we have here. But with Dame, we developed the chemistry, and knowing that when he drives, he commands so much respect from the defense that there's a lot of open cuts. There's a lot of open spot-up threes that you can get. So just kind of being able to play with him, seeing how defenses load up on star players, kind of taught me how to be successful in those situations.
So like I said.
I appreciate it.